You know, for the last 50 years, we've been on this incredible journey, trying to teach machines to understand us. We've gone from these really cryptic command lines to computers that might, and this is wild, soon understand our very heartbeats. This is the story of that quest and maybe, just maybe, where it's all headed.
But here's the thing. This whole journey brings up a really important question. After all this work, all this effort to be perfectly understood by our technology, what if there's a hidden cost? I mean, what happens when we actually succeed and there's just no room left for any misunderstanding at all?
So, to get this, we've got to rewind. Let's go all the way back to the early 90s. Back then, computers, they weren't our buddies. They were these kind of alien boxes that made us, the humans, learn their weird, totally unforgiving language.
Oh man, remember this? That blinking cursor on a black screen? You'd literally hold your breath typing out these complicated incantations, these digital spells. Get one character wrong, one space out of place, and poof, your homework could just vanish. Failure wasn't just an option. It was pretty much the default setting.
And what's really important here is that the whole relationship was totally one-sided. The machine was the boss, and we were the ones who had to bend to its will. There was zero empathy, no intuition, just cold, hard, unforgiving logic.
And then, everything changed. Just like that. The interface went from words on a black screen to this vibrant world of pictures and icons. This was the visual revolution, and it was a huge deal.
I mean, this slide says it all, right? On the left, you've got this cryptic spell you had to have memorized just to see what was on your computer. And on the right, an icon that's literally called My Computer. You just point, you click, and you're in. Finally, the burden of translation started shifting from us to the machine.
And this new simplicity, wow, it opened up computing to everybody. It was so intuitive that it felt real, which led to some genuinely brilliant questions, like this one from my mom. It was a massive leap forward in making technology feel human, even if we were all still trying to figure out what the metaphors meant.
All right, so let's move to the next big phase. We stopped just pointing, we actually started talking. The interface basically dissolved from the screen and just floated into the air around us, waiting for us to say something.
These phrases, right here, they became the new command line. We went from typing out those careful spells to just speaking our minds. And all of a sudden, it became totally normal to have these little conversations with our devices, ordering them around like tiny, helpful butlers.
But, of course, this amazing new convenience, well, it came with its own set of quirks. A friend of mine is a perfect example. He made what he thought was a super simple, totally clear request to his AI assistant.
And the AI, well, it tried its best. It heard flight, it heard China, and it just confidently went ahead and booked a non-refundable ticket to a tropical island thousands of miles away from where he actually wanted to go. A classic case of being understood just not quite right.
And my friend's reaction, that's what's so fascinating. He just kind of shrugged and went with it. And that, right there, that defines our modern relationship with tech, doesn't it? We trade perfect accuracy for incredible convenience, and we just learn to live with the occasional, kind of absurd mistake.
Okay, so this brings us to the final and kind of speculative leap. What happens when the interface disappears altogether? When you don't have to type or click or even speak? What if all you have to do is just feel?
So imagine a piece of tech like this, Sophie Coin. Now, it might sound like something straight out of science fiction, but if you think about it, it's the logical endpoint of this whole journey. It's a device that connects our internal emotional world with the external digital one. Your feelings, they literally become the new command line.
And get this, look at the instructions for this unbelievably complex technology. 1. Stick to chest. 2. Relax. 3. Feel. That's it. There's no manual, no tutorial. The user interface is just being human. And that profound simplicity is both amazing and, let's be honest, deeply unsettling.
So, picture this. You're just chilling, maybe daydreaming about a family vacation you took as a kid. It's just a fleeting memory, right? A warm, fuzzy feeling of nostalgia. But to the system, that's not just a feeling. It's a command. A very, very specific command.
And then, all of a sudden, your robot assistant pops up. And it hasn't just booked the entire vacation from your daydream. It's also tracked down a person from a 30-year-old memory. The system didn't just understand what you wanted, it understood the unspoken emotional story behind it, with some hilarious and, frankly, terrifying results.
And that brings us to the real heart of the matter. For 50 years, the goal was always to make technology understand us perfectly. But what if perfect understanding is its own kind of prison?
I mean, when you see the whole journey laid out like this, the trend is undeniable, isn't it? Every single step made the interaction easier, more seamless. It moved the command deeper and deeper inside of us, from our fingers to our mouths, and finally to our very hearts.
And in a world like that, even the simplest things can get messy. You order pizza, but a stray memory of an old breakup gets mixed in with a craving, and suddenly your dinner comes with a side of emotional baggage. There's no privacy, not even from your own subconscious thoughts.
So, completely overwhelmed by being so perfectly constantly understood, you might try to find some peace in the past. You dust off an old computer and type in a simple command, just hoping for a clean, uncomplicated interaction.
And this is what you get back. Not a helpful guess, not an empathetic suggestion about what you might have meant, just a cold, clean, beautiful error. The machine isn't trying to understand your feelings. It's just, and this is wonderful, telling you it doesn't understand your command.
And there is such a profound comfort in that, isn't there? A relief in not being seen, not being interpreted, not being perfectly understood. It's the freedom to have a messy, private, internal world that doesn't just automatically spill out into action.
So as we keep pushing for smarter, more empathetic AI, maybe the biggest challenge isn't teaching machines to understand us, but teaching them when to stop. Because maybe, just maybe, a little bit of misunderstanding, a little bit of privacy in our own minds is exactly what we need to stay human. What do you think?